Hey, if you're watching this on the replay, welcome. I am here today to talk to you live about how I prevent and avoid the roll. That's me, Christine McAlister. Hey, Carrie, good to see you. I'm coming to you live from the Outer Banks. Hi, Celia. Hey, Caitlin. Welcome, ladies. Great to see you today. Coming to you from the beautiful Outer Banks. This is the back porch of this gorgeous house I'm staying in. If you're quiet, you can hear the sound of the pool fountain below. Show you. Oh, it's so nice. The breeze is blowing. There's the house next door. It's like a quintessential big North Carolina beach house. I'm here with some family. Look at the little hydrangeas. Lots to be grateful for. Little gazebo down there. Just enjoying this time of inspiration. All today. So sitting on the back porch, thinking about how I can encourage you today. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, it's really good to be here. If you don't know me, my name's Christine McAlister. I'm the founder of Life with Passion, and I work with motivated, driven, high-achieving women to help them quit their 9-to-5 jobs, replace their income quickly, and build and grow, start, build, whatever, the business of their dreams. So I've been an entrepreneur for 11 years in several different spaces, several different companies, and now I use everything I've learned to help women create the life of their dreams in a business that supports it, not the other way around. I spent a long time running a business that pretty much consumed my life, and now I've learned how to let my businesses support my life rather than the other way around. Celia, thank you. Thank you. She says, you look radiant. Love your angel wings necklace. Thank you so much. This is for my daughter, Maeve, and this is her birthstone. Maeve passed away last March, and so I wear this most days in her memory and in her honor. And actually, my company, Life with Passion, really started out of, out of her loss and out of a desire to support other women around the world in moving past fear and the things that were holding them back, the things that they have been through, in order to recognize that their dream lives were possible too, no matter what they've been through. So I'm really, really glad that you've joined me today. I've got 4 ways for you that I now avoid the downward spiral, because here's the thing. I spent a lot of years feeling like I wasn't good enough. A lot of years. So whenever that feeling would hit me, I'd kind of give into it a lot of the time. I don't know if you can relate to that. Tell me if you can, but here's what I'd do. That feeling would hit me, like out of the blue, and it would play out something like this. And a significant and pretty dramatic, quick loss of productivity, a journey to the couch, or staying on the couch if I was already there, a journey through some Netflix binges, a journey through some junk food, a lack of motivation, a feeling of just being down and doubting myself. And Carrie says, yes. Okay, well, I'm sorry that you're experiencing that, Carrie, but I'm also glad to know I'm not the only one. We're going to talk about how I overcame this. And really, really a lot of procrastination for me too. Like, I just would find ways to put off, the stuff that I knew I needed to do. And this, or even the stuff I wanted to do, this feeling would come to me for a lot of different reasons. It would come to me, if I started comparing myself to somebody. I talked in yesterday's scope about how to deal with how I trash self-doubt and comparison. So check that out if that sounds like it might be helpful to you. I would compare myself. Maybe I'd see something on Facebook, or I'd hear what someone else was doing, or where they were traveling, or one of the things that I really wanted to do and I wasn't doing at the moment, and I just get really in my head about it and get really, really sad. So I'd find ways to self-soothe by doing something like eating or zoning out, escaping, TV, escaping by procrastination, not engaging. And what I've learned over the last year and a half, you know, on my journey through grief, through recovery from losing my daughter Maeve, through beginning to really, really, really change my mindset in a way that I never have before, and in this journey through truly owning my strengths and helping women all over the world to own theirs, is that there are a few things that you can do to start to really catch yourself before you get to that downward spiral place that takes a little bit longer to get out of. You know, maybe for you, it's like, I just don't want to get out of bed. I'd just rather sleep. You know, let's just escape it. That's how some of us handle it. So regardless of what it is for you, you know when you have that feeling, you know when you feel like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And I hear that from women all the time. I'm just not good enough. I'm too far behind. Someone else is smarter. Someone else is prettier. Someone else is, you know, older. Someone else is younger. Someone else is farther along. Fill in the blank. Like, I'm not good enough. I don't have XYZ. I need another certification. I need another training. Right? So here are the ways that I have dealt with that personally. Number one is to recognize it first of all and to check in on it. To recognize it first of all and to check in on it and what is going on with my routines and habits. I'm brushing off bugs that are landing on me, sorry. Carrie says, I procrastinate by doing research and never actually getting the thing done. Yes! Carrie. Marie Forleo says, this is one of my favorite quotes because it's totally been life-changing for me. Clarity comes from being engaged in something, not from thinking, or in your case, researching about it, right? Because we can totally get ourselves into analysis paralysis. Like, here's a silly example, but I will go online to buy something on Amazon because I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll get it on Amazon and it will save me the trip out, you know? And then it will come right to my door, right? It'll save me the time. It'll save me the gas, blah, blah, blah. Well, an hour and a half later, I'm still like obsessively reading reviews and trying to decide which is the right one to buy. And I've wasted all this time rather than just making a decision. Hi, welcome. Thank you for the hearts. And so if I had made that decision, it would be done and it would moved on with, and I wouldn't have been in this research that probably leaves me feeling overwhelmed because our brains just can only handle so much. Carrie says, excellent point. I'm good at that. Paralysis stretches for weeks. Yeah, absolutely. Right? And we do not get clarity until we actually take action. We're not going to know how we feel about something. We're not going to know if it's the right decision for us. We're not going to know the next step until we take action. And that's why the free coaching calls that I offer are called Next Right Steps coaching calls, because we get really, really clear on the next thing that you need to do and get you out of that analysis paralysis. So Carrie, if you want one of those, let me know. You're welcome to it. 30 minutes, you and me, break through that analysis paralysis, figure out your next right step. They're amazing. Women usually say to me at the end of the calls, oh my gosh, I just feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Or someone said to me yesterday, I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest. I can't believe I never thought about it that way before. Thank you! And that's why those are so fun, because they really, really can be life-changing in just a few minutes. So I check in first. My first step is to check in on my routine on that very day. Did that day start off kind of chaotically for me? Did I not get in my normal, like, morning routine? Awesome, Carrie. Yeah, you're welcome to. There are lots of ways to get in touch with me. Hold on. Jasmine green tea. I check in and go, did I get my normal morning routine in that starts off my day right? Did I do that? Chances are the answer is no. Because I have a really consistent morning routine that starts me off in a good space, in a good mood, with good energy, full of belief, and really clear on what I need to get done that day. It includes some meditation, it includes some reading, it includes journaling, it includes gratitude, writing down 10 things I'm thankful for, and I talked about why that's so important yesterday. This is key for me. I've learned, because, you know, your subconscious is most impressionable when you first wake up in the morning and when right before you go to bed at night. And so what you do in those spaces is very, very precious to how, you know, your days are going to go. So taking control of that time rather than rolling over when the cell phone alarm goes off, picking up the phone, scrolling through your email, scrolling through your Facebook feed, totally overwhelming yourself. Carrie, thank you for inviting somebody. I appreciate that. When you do that, you are taking charge of your thoughts. And so much of this is about creating the right mindset to get stuff done. And so that's where I start. I check in and I go, look, even though maybe I didn't get this thing done first thing in the morning, late is better than never. Done is better than perfect. Let's come back and let's recalibrate for the rest of the day. Let's get out my journal and my little fancy pen that I keep because it makes me feel fancy when I write it down. And let's write down 10 things we're grateful for. Let's get back into that space. Let's take 5 minutes and breathe and kind of like get recentered back into ourselves and not just feel like scattered all over the place. Whatever the day throws at me, that's the thing I need to, you know, take on. And like, it's totally out of my control, because most of the women that I talk to, most of the women that I work with, they really want to feel a sense of control in their lives again. Like, they don't want their lives to be dictated totally by somebody else at their job, you know, telling them what to do and how to do it and what's important and what's not. They have a really strong desire to help in the world and to do that on their own terms and to make the kind of money they dream of making so that they can live the kind of life that they want to live. I know that's how I am. Freedom! Celia says, exactly. That is freedom. Oh, it gives me chills just saying the word. So, again, Carrie says, yes, freedom. So, again, it's checking in. It's checking in and finding out, have I done what I feel like is the most important thing I can do today? And that is starting, you know, off from a place of peace and of joy and of freedom and of strength. Because that allows me to show up for my clients out of that same place, out of a place of belief and possibility, and out of a place of anything is possible for them, and not out of a place of pressure or stress or anxiety or these things that I've experienced a lot in my life, but I now know I can have control over, not dwelling there. So if I'm feeling like I'm not good enough, the first thing that I do is I check in and I say, have I done my most important tasks for today? Have I taken care of myself and my mind? And if I haven't, then I make time to do that somehow. Somehow I make time to do that. 5 minutes even. Okay? So that's number one. Number two is I remind myself, Christine, it is not about you. It is not about me. Because the I'm not good enough space, even though it doesn't really often feel like this for us, it's actually can be a very selfish place. It's totally self-focused. I'm not good enough. Therefore, right? I'm going to do what I need to do to zone out. I'm going to do what I need to do to avoid this terrible feeling. I'm not good enough. But the truth is that I'm not good enough is keeping the world from experiencing, being supported by, being helped by what you have to give and your purpose. Okay? So do you know what your purpose is? And are you living it or on the path to living it? Are you doing that every day? So for me, I know that my calling is working with women and showing them that no matter what they've been through, it's possible to survive it and to thrive. Not only to survive, but to thrive. And that I take a stand for women not having to go through some tragedy like I did in order to get over the fear of what other people think, get over the fear of failure, get over the fears that have been holding them back and go for the life of their dreams. Those are the women I work with. And I specifically do that, by helping them get out of their 9-to-5 jobs, by helping them grow their businesses in a smart and very intuitive and heart-centered way. And that is starting small, starting in a smart way, starting in an intelligent way, starting, with motivation and dreams and all of those things, I know that's what I'm meant to do. I now know that's what I'm meant to do. A lot of times we don't know. For years I was like, I'm not sure, and so I struggled with that too. But once I got clear on that, and I got some help to do it, to be honest with you, it took me a while to figure it out. I wasn't really super clear on it on my own until I hired my first mentor. But realizing that purpose lit a fire under me, and it helped me to say, look, me showing up, in some ways, yes, it's about me, but in other ways, it's not. If I go into this place of downward spiral, oh, woe is me, I'm not good enough, I better sit on the couch and eat, I don't know, I like Nutter Butters for junk food, let's fill in the blank. I could toss back a bunch of Nutter Butters and like be totally, zoned out about it, look down and go, oh my gosh, what happened to all the Nutter Butters? If I go into that place, I am not showing up for the women in the world who need me. I'm not showing up for the changes that I want to make in the world. Like Carrie says, light bulb. What do you mean, Carrie? What do you mean, light bulb? Tell me. I have really, really big dreams of helping thousands and thousands of women around the world. I have really big dreams of making a huge impact with the money that I make. Because I don't just want to make money to have stuff. I want to make money to change people's lives, women who I will never meet. I want to give more microloans. I want to provide scholarships. I want to help prevent preventable stillbirths. My daughter Maeve's was not. We don't know what happened, but there are a lot in developing countries that could be prevented with proper prenatal care. I don't want a mom who could have a healthy baby to ever have to go through what I went through. I want to stop that. I want to put an end to it. There are 50,000 stillbirths in the U.S. every year alone. That means a baby got to 20 weeks and then passed away. Some point between 20 weeks and full term. Now, Maeve was full term, but, anything after 20 weeks. And usually you don't expect that. You hear, if you make it past the first trimester, you're safe, it's good, it's awesome. That wasn't the case with me. 50,000 in the U.S., 2.6 million every year in the world. And a lot of those are preventable. I want to make money so that I can give a lot away and help prevent that and put a stop to that. No more. Because I know what it does. Carrie says, didn't think about it as being selfish and robbing people of what I have to offer them, thus light bulb. Yeah, girl, get it, right? A lot of times as helpers, because we're all here because we're helpers, right? We want to be of service to the world. We want to make a difference in the world. When we have that desire, sometimes it can really help us to get outside of ourselves, to show up, to get past that fear that's holding us back of I'm not good enough, that limitation. We show up and we say, it's not about me. I have a sticky note next to my desk that says, it's not about me. If I get on the phone with a client and something comes up for me where I'm like, I don't know if I can help them or whatever, it is not about me. It is about what they need. And I trust that I am going to be able to provide that support. And guess what? I always am. It's amazing. I always am. And their lives are changed. And I'm doing what I'm meant to do. And it is a beautiful upward spiral, right? As opposed to this place of like me hiding out on my couch. Okay, so number 2, it's not about me. Number 1, check in. How are your routines going? I'm really big on that, on focus. Number 2, it's not about me. Number 3, this is a big one. What kind of accountability do you have in your life, and are you using it? I have mastermind partners, which simply means that we check in with each other weekly, and we're honest about where we are in our businesses and what difficulties we're experiencing. We challenge and coach each other to move through and get past those challenges and set goals for the next week. We hold each other accountable. And for a long time, I hid out because I was afraid, like, I was a perfectionist. I didn't want anyone to know I wasn't perfect, so I would just hide out if I was feeling like I'm not good enough. But getting over the shame, that is really what it was, of feeling like, oh, I'm struggling today for whatever reason, and being willing to check in and go, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out because of this, or I'm procrastinating because of this, and putting words to that was such a huge relief for me. And I bet it will be for you too. If you're familiar with Brene Brown's work at all, she's a researcher who has dedicated her career to shame and how vulnerability can release us from shame. She has a couple of TED Talks that are very, very powerful, and they're short. They're TED Talks, so I would recommend you check her out, Brene Brown. She's written several books too. But really what her research found is that shame is and then being willing to be vulnerable is one of the keys in overcoming what has been holding us back. So get accountable. If you don't have somebody, find somebody. There are people out there. I do recommend that it's not a significant other, because often that can just muddy the waters of the relationship a little bit, so you don't want that. But get somebody who's on the same track as you and who understands. That's number 3, is accountability. And then number 4 is to take some kind of action now. 5 minutes. Because remember what I said at the beginning, Carrie? Clarity comes from taking action, not from thinking about it, not from endless research, not from ruminating, which so many of us are like experts at. Clarity comes from being engaged. So, just set a timer for 5 minutes and take action on being engaged. Whatever you feel like the number one thing you need to do that day is, which I decide in the I decide in the morning routine that I have. Whatever it is, I take action for 5 minutes on that. And usually what I find is once I get that ball rolling, once I get that momentum started, it, again, upward spirals, and we have the ability to work on it longer. But it's just that initial, like, getting over the procrastination of feeling that comes from feeling like we're not good enough. So number 4 is taking action and trusting that the next step is going to become clear. And maybe for you, taking action is taking a risk. It's asking for some kind of support. It's admitting that you want some help and being open, right? I mean, I talk with women and challenge women in this a lot because what I see is we all feel like this need to pretend that everything's perfect in our businesses, in our lives, in our dreams. And I know that for me, I didn't triple my income within a few weeks and start living the life of my dreams and, you know, move into my dream house and take a trip to Europe all within the space of a few months until I got support and accountability from somebody who I felt like, you know, could help me, someone I trusted to help me, and somebody who was rocking it in their business the way I wanted to rock it in mine. So maybe for you, it's taking action on that thing you've been procrastinating on forever, and you know what it is, for 5 minutes today. Or maybe it's putting aside the anxiety and the nervousness and booking a free call with me for 30 minutes to discover your next right step, to practice some self-care and take time to do that, to reflect on your calendar what your priorities are, because our bank account and our calendar reflect our priorities no matter what we say. No matter what our words say, those are two things that if you weren't around, somebody could look at and tell what was really important to you. So if your business and moving forward in your life is really important to you, moving toward that dream life, what are you doing to take action on it today? What are you doing to invest in it today? If you would like to take advantage of a free call with me, you can go to lifewithpassion.com/survey and you can fill out a quick survey so that I can make the most of that 30 minutes for us. We can get right on the phone and dive right in. That's why I do this. and then you'll get a link to my schedule, and we will go from there. So I'm going to show you passion.com/survey in case you want to screenshot that and come back to it later. That's how you get a free call with me. Easy peasy, Life with Passion. Quick survey and talk to me and get totally individualized, customized help. It's like a $350 value to talk to me for 30 minutes. I also just announced a new program because, awesome, Carrie. Carrie says, got it, thank you. I'm looking forward to talking with you, Miss Carrie. I also just announced a new 8-week program that's just going to be available for the next 2 weeks, where you get to work with me privately, one-on-one, for 8 weeks. And that's the last chance to work with me until October. Because here's the deal. I just announced I am expecting Maeve's little sister at the end of August. So I'm going to take a little time. I'm going to take a little time to adjust to what that is like. And so I am wanting to help as many women as I can, as many women who are ready for the support and the help over the next 2 months. So we've got a timeline to work with here. It's very specific, and I only have spots. If you're interested in that, you can go to lifewithpassion.com/program or program 1. They'll both take you to the same page. And you can read about it, and you can a clarity call with me. That one's to find out if the program's right for you or not. And we just talk that through. What are your goals? Are those things I can support you with? That's complimentary as well. But check out my website. There's a ton of inspiration on there. My past newsletters, articles, blogs, all of that stuff. There's a free training there waiting for you too. And if you want to connect with me further, Emperor's New Groove asks, is this live? Yes, this is live. If you want to connect with me further, then you are welcome to do that from my website. I also invite you, if you're a woman on the path to leaving her 9-to-5 or starting or growing her business, and you want to be surrounded by hundreds of other women in the same boat, I want you to join Life with Passion Society, which is my totally free Facebook group. I'm in there every day providing free support. So, any final questions before I go today? I will count it down. Thank you so much for joining me today, ladies. Thank you for the hearts. I love seeing that. Encourages me to keep going. And I will count it down from 5. Type something in real quick. Say yes if you've got a question. Otherwise, we'll count it down. 5, 4, 3, because I'm going to go get in the hot tub or the pool. 2, 1. Gary says, thanks for the encouragement. You're so welcome. Thanks for making the time for yourself today. Way to honor your dreams and what you want to do. I'll be back with you soon. Until then, bye.